U.S. equities in the month of January on an incredibly high note, putting one of the strongest Januaries on record into the books. Wow, this has been some exciting price action in the context of the Fed leaving rates unchanged, in the context of optimism throughout the month of January for a trade deal out of China, and looking forward into tomorrow's non-farm payroll. That's where we got volatility aplenty, and the prices are certainly grooving and moving. Welcome to the MTI Minute. This is Kevin Dixon, Senior Trading Analyst at Market Traders Institute. And like I said, certainly a lot of optimism rolling into the markets today. Today, Facebook reported after hours yesterday. Facebook up 10%. Microsoft reported down 3%. And Amazon reports after hours today as we're heading into the biggest part of earnings on the year. And again, we're not even going into the context of what's driving the currency market. There's plenty of things grooving. There are plenty of things moving as always. Let's get right into those charts on the spiders. Got them up behind me here. Boy, I tell you what a difference a month makes. At the end of December, at the end of the fourth quarter, we're definitely having the tone of a bear market singing. It was a very baritone. And here we can hear that noise a little bit further. Above the 200-period EMA, getting some teeth there. The spiders are now in what is considered a deep pullback territory, and we're actually rolling into some areas where we may be doing some buying soon. Dow Industrials not really chipping to the loo, my darling, on this one today. Kind of a little bit more subdued after yesterday's price explosion driven with McDonald's, earnings driven with Boeing. Today, again, some consolidation, but the Dow in deep pullback territory as well. Looks like we're trying to send those bears back into the deeper part of the cave. Now the NASDAQ won. This is where we've got so much great price action. Apple's already reported. Even though Microsoft was down-toned, it doesn't matter because the rest of the FANG stocks are setting the pace and technology's increasing the race. We're trying to get above the 10% corrective level to 168.77. But ladies and gentlemen, you may be seeing a very, very special first quarter rally out of your equities markets in 2019. Now, of course, as always, this is where my formulas are drawn up. We're still in the corrective range on the Russell 2000, but the Russell 2000 is also getting very perky, and starting to bounce a little bit higher. Now, I do also want to frame the context of crude oil. Crude oil, this is a 15-minute time frame. Crude actually began the day lower, surging as well. When we start talking our currencies, one thing I'm really going to be drilling home to you today is those commodity currencies. Whoa, those commodity currencies. They've got you feeling very happy on the day. Let's get to our fangs. You know why? That's right. I'm going to go for the first in the F. This is Facebook. Now, Facebook has been a lot under pressure, right? Privacy laws, all these other things. Apps here, apps there. But the bottom line is you got a lot of subscribers, you got a lot of users. They monetized out well. And that's what the street was looking for in the earnings report, providing a 10% gap up. This is really one of the bigger gap ups that you've seen on Facebook. And that sets the stage for the number 2 of the FANG stocks, which is Amazon. So, you know, back into those charts, and we go straight to Shazam. And I mean, wham, bam, Shazam. Now, straight up, I'm expecting these to beat the living crap out of their earnings. I'm expecting Amazon to set the bar so high because that's what we expect on our industry leaders. This was above $2,000 within the last year, which was a historic level for Amazon. Innovation, growth, that's something that you definitely have within the name Amazon. Now, you can make a point that the influence here as a top 3 member of multiple index is going to be felt through the market environments tomorrow. And certainly next week, as we see a lot more earnings on the market as well, technology is going to give us more answers to turn the key of understanding as to where we should be trending into February and March. Let's go right back into Amazon because the charts are really not that great here. But, you know, starting to look at this, maybe busting above 17 and a quarter. There might be something to do there. Very optimistically moving on the day. Are your FANG stocks catching the net affliction? Are you net afflicted? Well, net afflicted is down a little bit on the day. This one will be coming up here soon. And sweet googly moogly, getting back above the $1,100 mark. This is only the second time going back to late November, December, rather early December, that we've had this above the $1,100 mark. And so this is starting to get significant when the chips are down. Now again, Apple, optimism, those earnings there, we're watching Apple continue to flux up on the day. The only disappointing earnings really were Microsoft, and Microsoft top holding in the NASDAQ, as we well know, top holding in the S&P, as we well know now, and still there's nothing but potential for growth growing there. So as we're looking at more earnings reports coming into next week, it is going to be with a real happiness and good peak time. I'm going to tell you about one quick trade we set up there on opening bell. Opening bell, we look at Forex, we look at stocks every day. and we found ourselves a nice little option setup. So let me review this one with you. It is on something where I should have done this a long time ago. I don't know about you. My wife likes to go to Starbucks a lot, and so I feel like I'm helping drive Starbucks growth each and every month. And now my young son has started to get to where he likes a dessert at Starbucks. I can't stop money from my personal accounts flowing into Starbucks. So if you can't beat them, join them. What I've decided to do is put up a long call ID on there. Let me show you the rules for this trade on Starbucks. We've identified a $65 long call. We come around, we're seeing this bust onto the highs. So we got some of my rule sets out there. And like I said, the group on opening bell, we're always looking for new ideas. We're a trading team. So here we are with an entry to 68.76, getting long the stock by buying the $65 long call. We're looking at April expiration because earnings for Starbucks are in April. This is a little bit of play outside of that today. You know, I'm going to tell you straight up, one of the other things that we love to do on opening bell is identify basket strength. So when we move into our currencies markets, we know exactly what we're looking at. And our favorite basket today was Kiwi. It was Kiwi time. We're flipping Kiwis here. We're flipping Kiwis there. But we like the Kiwi really against the dollar, and we like it against the pound, and we like it against the euro. So let's look at those charts and see what's going on Kiwi style. And this is New Zealand dollar, 15-minute time frame. Remember, New Zealand dollar is not the biggest mover. So you get 25, 30, 40 pips on this, you're doing well. There is the FOMC candlestick yesterday. Blazed 50 out there as the dollar weakened up like a champ on the afternoon. The dollar weakened up so strong, even a caveman could have won a trade. We are coming on to a very significant resistance level, but this is still being fueled by dollar weakness. Like I said, the Fed was largely soft and forward guidance projections. New Zealand yen actually is picking up as well. The Japanese yen is trading strong today. My top currency pairs for the morning were the Aussie dollar, the New Zealand dollar, and a strengthening yen with the fourth idea out there, watching the Canadian dollar for a rally in crude oil, which happened. So when that happened, we know the CAD's going to strengthen up. It's all about the commodity currencies here today because gold was rallying well up over 1%, silver up 1.5%, joining crude oil up over 1%. So you see why Aussies, New Zealand's, Canadian dollars matter because they're very relevant and easy to read with the price of commodities. Back into these charts. And I'll tell you, here's Euro New Zealand, and this is on a 2-hour interval. We had this set up well early, just a couple days ago, so we were looking for it to break this low right there. We had a low around $1.6625. We're looking for that to break to get into the take, and the take happened on the day. And look at this. We busted below $1.6550. That's really nifty. Got down below $1.6530. This is pound New Zealand. Now, the pound actually got pretty perky here on a 15-minute time frame as well. We've had a really good extended trading range rolling into this, but the Euro New Zealand was moving with a little bit more weakness. We've had the pound New Zealand as the pound actually strengthened up a little bit of the afternoon, grooving the other way. Now, I've explained in the play as well that we're looking at our Aussie dollars. When you're seeing a metal rally, when you're seeing a rally in gold, you're seeing a rally in silver, you're going to see a rally in the Aussie. And here's the Aussie dollar. Again, it's not the biggest mover out there, but you give it 30, 40, 50 pips, you got a nice slip rolling on. But you pair this with the euro, now, buddies, you got some decision-making going on. This is a 15-minute time frame, and we were watching this breaking below 58.50 in the morning. We said, you know, at the very least, if you're not short Euro Aussie, let it break $1.58 and short it there. Hi-ya, look at that. That is a karate chop that even a Hong Kong fool would be proud of. Check out that euro dollar. Nice slide as we're heading into lunchtime on Wall Street. It's licking pips. Hallelujah. Back into those charts, and then we'll wrap it up for you. As I said, the pound rallies up a little bit, so that's kind of quelling the action on the pound Aussie a little bit there. And the Canadian dollars is where we're going to wrap up the conversation on the day. And this is right convenient for the CAD. You'll notice I'm not needing to go to pounds. You'll notice I'm not needing to really go to euros, or excuse me, into the euro basket in general or the dollars. The pound CAD breaking out of the rectangle we set up this morning on opening bell. Remember, you're patient in here until the pattern is breaking. The pattern is going north. It looks like the pound is really starting to add some strength, quelling some of the action on the CAD here into the afternoon. Euro CAD's also putting in a bottom right around $1.5050. So things are going to be slow. Tomorrow we have the U.S. non-farm payroll numbers out at 8:30, so we're looking for a little more price direction, price explosion around that time. And then heading into next week, next Friday's Canadian employment numbers, a few more rate announcements, and we'll learn more about how February is going to be with the bulls. January, bulls win, that's for sure, because we are always looking for new entries to satisfy and merge. I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Paul D. Paul D on today. The last day of January knocked out over 3,000 pips for the month. And on those Aussie and New Zealand pairs I was just showing you, he knocked out over 400 pips of those within the last few days. So remember, when the chips are down, get those pips in your pocket and book it if you took it. Because remember, we are in it to win it on the MTI Minute. This is Kevin Dixon. Thank you again for tuning in. Happy February, and we will see you next time.